There must be thousands of them.
Wow, I've never seen anything like this. Who would want to hunt them?
We're out here in Tucson. It's November 6th tonight, the annual Tucson All Souls Day procession. And we've got our giant Sandhill Crane puppet, and we've got our informatory banner. And us Chuck Sean Earth Firsters are out here with pamphlets, trying to let people know about the senseless, violent, and depraved Sandhill Crane slaughter that's going on in the Wilcox Playa and Whitewater Draw as we speak.
Another flock joining the much larger protected flock. Once again, Chuck Sean Earth First on patrol. This time saving Sandhill Cranes from the archer's arrows.
Sandhill cranes are a migratory bird species. They winter in the Sulphur Springs Valley here in southern Arizona, just near Wilcox, Arizona, which is east of Tucson. And there are two different populations of these birds, and the mid-continent population goes all the way from Siberia all the way down through Nebraska down to the Valley of Mexico, and the Rocky Mountain population has a slightly smaller migratory range and it goes down through the Rocky Mountains. But the two populations mingle here in southern Arizona out in the Sulphur Springs Valley.
And we are at the border of the refuge, watching thousands of the birds return.
Sandhill cranes used to be a very common species. It's like with a lot of wildlife, you know, the typical thing that people would say about a lot of wild North American birds is that the flocks would darken the skies when they went by, and that's true about the Sandhill cranes, and to get even a glimmer of that impression now, you have to go to their roosting grounds in the Platte River Valley in Nebraska during the summer, and they were almost wiped out entirely. The whole species was almost wiped out by hunters and habitat loss in the first half of the 20th century. And from being protected since that time, their numbers have rebounded, but they're still recovering and they're still at far below their historic numbers.
Hundreds and hundreds of cranes have landed all around me. Some pretty much within archery range, and definitely within shotgun range, unfortunately. So this very same situation would produce deadly results had I been a real hunter, as there will be in the fields Tuesday. So, we're hoping to recruit some help to come out and protect these very birds' lives, who are quite likely going to be killed next week.
They pass through on the way from their roosting grounds to their wintering grounds. They're here through the months of November through January, more or less, and some of them winter here and some of them keep going wherever they're going. This past year was the largest ever sandhill crane hunt in Arizona since the hunt started in 1981, and the Arizona Game and Fish Department gave out permits for the killing of approximately 730 cranes. But that number doesn't really give the full impression, because in the 13 states in which cranes are allowed to be hunted, approximately 35,000 of them are killed or crippled every year, because cranes that are wounded but not killed, or killed but not recovered by hunters, are not counted in game and fish statistics. And so altogether nationwide, that comes out to about 24% of the population being removed from that population by hunters every year.
The problem with Arizona Game and Fish Department is, although their motto might be managing wildlife for tomorrow or something along those lines, they basically exist to facilitate sport hunters killing innocent animals.
I want to make a statement from regards to Sandhill Crane, because that's one of our success stories in this state. We've gone from the 70s of a population of about 4,000 the last several years of maintaining a population of 30,000 plus animals in the area down here in southeastern Arizona. And the stuff that we've done down along the lower Colorado River, we're seeing it to the point now where that population is up far enough where you might be considering some harvest as well. So that particular species we're doing outstanding in.
It's not hunted as a bird to be eaten the way deer are, for example. It's not even remotely a subsistence hunt. People don't hunt cranes to supplement their diets. They hunt cranes purely for the pleasure of it.
So how are we going to cook these birds, if we actually get any?
Well, we're not going to cook them. We're going to and put it right next to my mountain lion and my elk.
Oh, right, I knew that. I guess I thought we were doing this for more than just a decoration.
It's not just for decoration. It's... Wait, quiet. Here they come.
On the one hand, we've been trying to engage with Game and Fish in their process, and we've gone to their meetings, and we've written public comments, and we've urged them to stop the hunt.
Who is in favor in the group of removing mountain lion, bighorn sheep, Gunnison prairie dog, and crane hunts? Okay, again, all right, 20 hands up. Now, who is against removing those species from a hunting standpoint? So,
Their only response has been to either ignore or ridicule us, and so because of that, we've felt the need to also go out into the field to document this hunt, to show Arizonans what's going on.
First season, we were in a field just south of here, and were able to document 2 cranes being killed. One was only wounded and took 4 more shots on the ground before the hunter was able to kill it. We're looking at a hunter just killed a sandhill crane. Looks like a greater sandhill crane by the size, but it's hard to tell. He's walking back now. We saw him killing the bird after it had been wounded on the ground, swinging it around. The bird's still jumping around. Looks like it still might be alive. It's hard to tell. Now he's trying to kill the bird by smashing it against the sprinkler. This is what sandhill crane hunting's all about.
People come from all around the country to watch these birds wintering here, and there are huge festivals devoted entirely to the sandhill cranes, and people have no idea that they're hunted. And so we've been trying to let people know that that's happening and encouraging them to tell Game and Fish that these birds shouldn't be hunted.
Oh no, we got a herd of cranes going right into the hunter's guns. Hopefully they'll peel off in time. It's super close though. Might take a shot. Yep, they're going up. He's shooting. You can see a gun. It's really sad what we're seeing though. We're basically seeing all these cranes going right into the hunter's guns and just trying to thread their way through to safety. This is a tragic instance. There's one sandhill crane down, wounded. The other 3 are trying to assist it. They're surrounded by 3 loyal friends and family. Hopefully us being here with cameras will intimidate them a little bit.
Can you see where their binoculars coming? Are they even holding their gun?
No, but they're looking at us.
The guy in the paler colors keeps lifting his binoculars and staring.
Hello.
While out in the field, we hope to be able to use our presence to warn the birds so that if they notice us and they become wary of those fields, then perhaps if there's a hunter in those fields, and those hunters won't be able to kill those birds.
And this season we've been focusing more on actually getting the birds to fly away from the hunters. We're right now in this cornfield where we've been positioned with our decoys, and any birds that are coming from the north and northeast and northwest, which they have been coming in lately, we've been diverting around the hunters. Basically, we've created a hunter sandwich by having our groups of people on both halves of the field, north and south, to hopefully see any birds that might be coming from those directions. And as you can see right now in the background, there are the hunters' decoys behind our own, and our idea is that we'll intercept any birds before they reach the guns. Get away!
It's a species that's still recovering from a brush with extinction. Its genetic diversity has been severely hampered because the cranes rebounded from such a small population. So it's a very vulnerable species. It's very vulnerable to a lot of stresses, be that disease or habitat loss or hunting, and we think that a recreational hunt is the stupidest of reasons to be putting a stress on this vulnerable species, so the hunt should just be stopped.
These 3 hunters were hunting here in this field, Kansas settlement, this morning, and we successfully kept all birds away. We hope to be out here for the rest of the crane hunt and any following crane hunts in the coming years until it's over.
So you don't have to come with us, although you can if you want. But basically, if you're against trophy hunting as a viable wildlife management strategy and don't want to get out in the field and camo like we're doing, call Arizona Game and Fish and tell them about it. Say, look, I like cranes, I'm not a big fan of hunting, stop. You know, they're a small agency, they've never been put under this kind of public pressure before, and we think they'll fold in a couple of years if people call. So please call. Thank you.
We encourage any Arizonans who enjoy wildlife without killing it to contact the Game and Fish Department and complain about the Sandhill Crane hunt or any other of these recreational, ecologically senseless hunts. We also encourage people to contact us and to get involved in our campaigns or just to lend financial support, because even $20 for a tank of gas can make the difference between us being able to get out into the field to defend the animals or being stuck in town. So even a very small amount of financial support makes a huge difference for us. The Arizona Game and Fish Department is a really small agency that is used to only having to worry about hunters and ranchers, and so far they've been able to ignore the fact that the vast majority of Arizonans appreciate wildlife for its own sake.
Don't land here.
And want it to be wild and protected rather than killed for sport.
Keep flying.
So any contact you have with Game and Fish could make a big difference for these animals.
Go back to the refuge where you're safe.
Hold on a second, guys. Mr. Romero, this is what our demands are.
Okay.
We would like the Sandhill Crane hunt for this year stopped immediately.
Okay.
One that's going to start tomorrow.
Okay.
And we also want a moratorium on the next year. Now here's our official Operation Game Thief report.
On the violation?
On the violation.
Okay, good.
And we want that filed, and this is a copy of our press release that we'd like you to have a copy because it's going to be released to the press.
Excellent. I'll give this to our Public Information Officer, Tom Wetton.
Great.
No problem.
Thank you.
We can do that.